episode of Chatty Broads with Becca and Jess.
Well, hello, Broads, and hello, Becca. Welcome back. Hi. It's good to have you back.
Thanks for manning the ship. Thanks for captaining.
You know what? Anytime, but your presence was truly missed. There were numerous moments that were happening in the episode that I was like, I need to discuss this with Becca. I don't remember because we had to watch 3 hours last night.
I know. I didn't even, I gotta admit, I didn't even watch last week's episode. I went on Variety and read all their recap of
Easy
of
enough.
it.
Easy enough. I mean, honestly.
Didn't feel like I missed much.
No. In fact, the episode you missed was like there was barely anything that
Compared
went
to the
down.
episode that you missed when you were in Mexico.
Dude, I mean, can you believe? It's just, I can't even. The fact that I missed Greg's big episode, and I had told myself too that I'm like, I'm not going to be like checking my phone or anything.
Yeah.
And I'm getting.
You were forced, yeah.
I was getting all of a sudden I have my phone put away and I go back and I had like 1 million text messages and friends of mine who I didn't even think watched The Bachelor were like, can you believe? And I'm like, what is happening? That's awful. What is happening? Like, I literally felt like there was like an emergency, and I was like, what did I'm out of the
I know.
out of the
I was texting
country.
you too. I was just like, can you believe? Can you believe?
I know, and I'm like, I can't get it. I'm like the capabilities of the streaming in Mexico. I was like, I couldn't.
No.
I didn't even know what was happening.
Bless your soul. Jess recorded the episode and sent me 30 gigabytes of it, and I had all of the intentions to watch it. And was like, sorry for that labor.
When you're on vacation, you should just be on vacation. You know,
be in paradise without paradise.
I truly
Thank you
believe.
for that.
I did not watch the Greg episode while I was in Mexico. I was like, I don't need this energy. And really, the only thing that you missed was a next level of food play that I can't even wrap my brain around.
I think the Lord spared me.
There
was a plan.
Did spare you because it was sour cream and taco meat.
That's what is this, the 4th time this season? What are they trying to do? Are they trying to make us stop recapping?
It might be. They know that we're
too
can't
powerful.
stand food play, Becca. And then they did it this last episode. At this point, they're trolling. Like, they're trolling all of America.
I feel like I'm being targeted. I feel like I'm being personally targeted.
I do think it's actually personal at a certain point. We've had enough run-ins. Let's just say that I wouldn't be surprised if it was personal. So anywho, speaking of personal,
Okay.
we have a few big news items to cover. And I just told Becca about them, and she hadn't known yet, which I'm excited about. This was very much while you were gone in Mexico. Things were starting.
Was this last week? Okay.
Well, it's like rumors were
Okay.
starting, and then there were certain confirmations.
Okay. I am so in the dark, so I can't wait for you to enlighten me.
Now, actual like ABC The Bachelor hasn't confirmed
Okay.
it, but all other news outlets have. So it's so
This is like the Tasha situation.
yes, where it's like they actually have footage of everything being filmed and the person being out and about being filmed for the show, and ABC still isn't announcing
Oh my God,
it.
tell me.
It's so dumb. Okay, so
this is
Broads,
The Bachelor.
okay, yes. 2 things. Broads, if you want to not know who the new Bachelor is or who the new Bachelor host is, skip ahead like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
5-10 minutes. The new Bachelor is not Greg. Okay, but the new Bachelor is a guy named Clayton Echard, and he's from Michelle's season. And I'm like, why are they doing this? Why is Fleiss teasing who the Bachelor is and then allowing news outlets to confirm that the Bachelor is someone who is on Michelle's season and we haven't even gotten to know them yet?
I'm sensing they're trying to bring it back to a Sean Lowe era. That's
Yes,
what I'm getting, the vibe I'm getting.
He has big Sean Lowe energy. Big Sean Lowe
Nice
energy.
guy, relatable guy.
Yeah, he's
cool white dad.
It's white dad. It's definitely used to play football. It's all of that business. And I will say so far, obviously the internet sleuths are on it, and I think they've been coming up pretty clean. So I'd hope that at this point ABC would have learned how to do their research.
He looks like a nice guy. He's got a really sweet smile.
Yes.
He
seems like a pleasant
guy. As a face reader, as a professional face reader.
as gifted by the Lord on High face reader.
Let me tell you right now, he's a guy who, he really doesn't want to rustle anyone's feathers. I sense that he's a peacemaker,
Yes.
He probably doesn't like talking about politics, not because he has any kind of controversial opinions, but more because they make him really uncomfortable. And he's just super uncomfy. Guys, I just want everyone to get along.
Can we just turn on the game and crack a brew? We can all get along that way, right?
Even though he's an extremely violent sport, he's just can't we all hang out?
Can't we all just have a little bit of peace and love?
But I think that he's probably a very nice guy who is going to be a little bit flabbergasted by this process and a little bit thrown for a loop.
It's the same Matt James situation where it's where we talked about how do you not experience. Well, I guess he's already I shouldn't say that. It's not the same. He filmed the season of Michelle.
Yeah. No, it's totally different. We just haven't seen it yet.
But Becca, why are they telling us this? It's why why are they doing the same thing as the Matt James situation and announcing so early and not holding off like they used to the very end of the Bachelorette season?
Don't they want to build the hype?
But I feel like you build the hype
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
By being who's gonna be Bachelor? Also, what is he gonna get into the top 4 or something? And we just know she doesn't pick him.
So we're just gonna know. I have maybe.
Or does he not make it very far?
I'm thinking maybe he makes it a couple weeks and then there's a family emergency or something that he has to leave, but you were just starting to get to know him and she really liked him a lot.
Okay.
Because there's no way they tell us about someone who's going to be in the top 4, right? That seems wild.
It seems wild, but stranger things have happened.
And we've always, one of the best parts about the after the final rose is that you'd find, or the women tell all or men tell all or whatever, is you find out who the bachelor or bachelorette's going to be.
And even if he is a week 4 person, then that's even more controversy from a Mike Fleiss standpoint, where people are gonna be like, no, why wasn't heartbroken, guy B? Why wasn't it this guy? Why are they picking Clay? I mean, it just seems better.
It seems way better.
I don't get it.
I totally understand them. I know they used to pick their leads super late in the game, last minute. You had no idea.
Yeah.
It makes sense to me that they would pick a lead immediately after filming so they could edit to make him look good.
Also, do you think this is also why this does make sense for all the other outlets to announce it first. That way, when people start digging, if there's something
true
that people dig up, no one digs a cohort of the internet.
That's very
versus
true.
ABC.
Though his filming has begun and they already put out photos of his women. I'm Michelle's season hasn't even started. I'm let us breathe. You just gave us 17 seasons of the show, tons extra people on Bachelor in Paradise. Now you're talking a senior. Let us breathe. I refuse to look at any of the photos. I haven't looked at any of the cast because I'm I just need to slowly now transition into Michelle's season. I'd like to simmer and enjoy it.
I don't know what they're doing anymore.
I don't understand. Unless they're really, the only thing that I can think of, I mean, except again, getting ahead of, gossip outlets before people are confirming,
sure.
But clearly the confirmation, AKA Greg, AKA certain news outlets, they said for sure Greg is the Bachelor and he's not. But the only thing that I can think of is that for the new Bachelor, there will be a new host. And so maybe they're trying to really get this season rolling quickly. Here's your guy, here are the ladies, here's your new host for the show.
So there is an official new host.
Okay, so can confirm Bachelor ABC has posted it officially. Okay. We have a new host.
Tell me.
Though Tayshia and Caitlin will also be hosting, the season of Michelle, and though apparently they were like test running with Wells, who didn't get the job.
Thank God.
Jesse Palmer will be the host of The Bachelor. He was on the show years ago, and he is now the host of The Ultimate Surfer. I believe he's a football player, ex-football player. So I'm just really confused by the moves. I think they're really starting truly to get a new generation to watch the show and literally act like maybe Chris Harrison never existed and start, here's your new host of this new show called The Bachelor. Like, and maybe, I don't know, maybe they're just trying to start a completely new leaf since the ratings have been tanking for a while.
I think so. They're not trying to start a whole new leaf. I think they're trying to rewind about 10 years ago and be like,
True.
let's hit replay because we were doing well. People want nostalgia. Y2K fashion is in. Let's give them Y2K Bachelor, you know?
So I'll say this, broads, I can't tell you anything about this man. Other than
we've watched him a little bit on the Surfer one.
Yeah, okay. How was he?
He's just like a standard host.
Okay, I heard that he was on like a cook-off show and like
I've seen him in a number of things.
I heard he's fun to watch. I had like, but again, you know, kind of standard whatever. I'm like, if you're gonna cast a white man, can it please be for the love of God, Mark Wahlberg? Like that's the only host I'm willing to accept at this point.
What were you saying? I interrupted you. Or you were like,
by the way, brothers, I mean Mark Wahlberg, a la Temptation Island, not of Wahlburgers. Well, Mark Wahlberg, not of the famed Wahlburgers. But so yeah, apparently he is again, haven't heard anything, only have heard positive things.
I know why I remember seeing him too, because he hosted that stupid show, The Proposal.
I never watched it.
You didn't? Not even one? Oh, it was so stupid. It was just like one of those.
I had heard about it because I'd seen like little clips from it.
Yeah, I mean, he's like the most standard.
So, yeah. So I mean, hopefully he's great. High hopes that he's a great host. Haven't heard anything but nice things about him. Very confused why they referred to Tayshia and Caitlin as like these temporary hosts and then just cut. I don't know. I'm like, one of them could have, if you want to, I get wanting a singular host. I kind of like, we've talked about this, the one person, but one of them would have been great.
I think the show's going through a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
There's identity issues. There's a lot happening. This is like, you know, when your dad turns 50 and buys like a yellow Corvette.
Yeah.
Or, you know, when someone who's in their like 40s starts dating like someone in their 20s, you know, and you're like, we see what you're trying to do here. And we all see what's happening here.
Mm-hmm. Quite clear.
And, you know, we support you and we hope that you come to find yourself and, you know, in this new phase of life, in this new season. But it's going to be a few years of, you know, the struggle bus. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. They need help. They need, like, Mike Fleiss needs therapy really bad.
I mean, especially remember the things he was tweeting too. It was like Mike Fleiss, he does, by the way, is
order on him.
I know you don't know who I am, Mike Fleiss, but I am also getting a restraining order on you. And honest to God, all he was posting about was like whatever alcohol he's now selling. And I swear to God, he was intoxicated the whole time he was posting those random tweets at nighttime. Because it was like one thing from like some people will be very happy and some people will not. And then the next tweet is like, our bachelor is going to like save the human world. Like it was
we will bring the nations together.
I was like, what is happening?
We are aligning with the cosmic divine. Like, what?
And then they're like, here's this guy you've never seen before. And then there was this huge rumor that the Bachelor was going to be another guy from Michelle's season, who apparently he is a man who found out very late in life that Clint Eastwood is actually his dad.
I'm sorry, what? What the fuck is happening?
Tell me this isn't a fever dream. Honestly, I feel like I have like blacked out at the top of the pandemic, and now I am like maybe like in the midst of this crazy fever dream that's been happening for like the past few years now, and but it's pushing it now.
You remember how like normal life was when like Colton was the Bachelor?
Yeah,
And
we had
Pete?
to make up the idea that he might be an alien to try to make his season more interesting.
Now there's no doubt that someone's body is being taken over in the control room.
They're absolutely not. I mean, something shifted and no one can deny it.
There is a cosmic shift.
But yeah, the rumors were that there's this guy from Michelle's season who apparently finds out later in life that his dad is Clint Eastwood, excuse me. And he is now this guy who is like tries to act and be an influencer
As Clint Eastwood's lost child.
Correct. But I don't know if like how often he talks about it, but he's like an influencer. Like he does like he is I have to now look his name up and talk about it later. One of the most entertaining follows of all time. Not sure what this guy's deal is. He's wild. Like wild. He will be highly interesting on the show. I'm not sure if we're going to love him or hate him.
I can't wait for our face reading sessions on this cast.
Oh, yes. Broads don't. And by the way, we've had a couple messages being like, are you guys going to do cast bios? But of course.
Are we going to do cast bios?
It's our most favorite time of year.
You mean the 6 hours we devote to conjecturing?
I want you broads to know that even if you weren't here, I would be sitting down with Becca alone in a room doing a cast bio breakdown. We love you all, but this is for us.
You know, it's coming quick though. We've got 2.5 weeks before the show.
I know
airs.
it's gonna be
It's
gonna be like probably next week or the top of the following.
We'll probably have to split it into 2 episodes. Guys, don't worry. You're gonna get all of the bio content.
Don't worry. This is again our most favorite time of year. We will not be stiffing you on this product.
No, this is when we're still like, you know, fresh faced and
bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Yeah, I was like bushy-eyed. No, I was about to say that. Yeah, well, anyway, speaking of not fresh and not bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, this week's episode of Bachelor in Paradise.
Becca, I don't know if it's just because this always happens during seasons of BIP that the last few episodes I am too exhausted to care anymore because it's just too much. I feel like I always come in, I'm always...
Optimistic.
Cut to a clip of me, episode 1 of this season, and I was like, I remembered why it's fun. And now it's like, no. And you told me that episode, you go, you forget that you will hate it. And I'm like, you're right. And here I am.
I have to tell you, when I used to watch the show, before I was even on the show, I would always, every single season, Bachelor, Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise, and watch to about episode 7 and would stop right there. And then I'd read online what happened.
You know what? This feels like a familiar memory to me as well. I'm trying to think if I ever even finished.
You get kind of, they start throwing in the 3-hour episodes, the doubles, you get kind of lost. And then before you know it, it's spoilers. You see who is together on People magazine. And
I'd always watch the reunion. I always like to see where they currently were. I do remember that. And I don't think they're doing it. They're not doing a reunion this episode, I don't think. So we're just going to all find out via social media, like who's currently still together. Season? Yeah.
I think they are because I saw people filming it. I thought people came to LA to film.
BIP?
Yeah, BIP reunion.
I hope that that's part of the 3 hours. If I have to watch 3 hours again next week, I hope that it's like a current what's happening.
So that's the finale? Like there's no episode the week after?
The week...
Like the 12th?
I don't know because remember, that's Michelle's season.
Michelle's season starts the 19th.
The 19th. Maybe I'm wrong.
I do hope you're wrong because I do want to see.
I would like to see what's going on.
And then there's going to be all of this crazy shit that happened off camera between the.
I know, and then everyone's going to report. It's so convoluted.
Okay, speaking of convoluted, we're going to have to just start from the top of the episode. And you want to take a break with a word from our sponsors first?
Yes, I think that's a good idea. Broads, you know those pieces that you buy for your home. Maybe it's like a really special accent chair or a rug that you just love. those are the pieces that you buy and you know they will come with you for every single move to every new apartment or home through every phase of life. That is every single piece for me when I get it from Jenni Kayne. Between the classic designs and the superior quality of the materials, it's impossible to not imagine every piece from Jenni Kayne lasting a lifetime.
Well, and really that's what Jenni Kayne is all about. They want to help you create the timeless space of your dreams, and all of the home decor pieces from Jenni Kayne really do fit perfectly into any home, and they just bring a hint of luxury into every corner of your space. And I feel like they're keepsakes, like something you could feasibly
Give to
pass
your
down.
kids,
Yeah.
yeah.
The furniture pieces are all created by artisans using premium materials like aged leather and Pacific Northwest wood. And I'm telling you, the level of quality is supreme when you buy from Jenni Kayne. There's nothing that I've gotten that I haven't totally fallen in love with.
And even if you're not in the market for large furniture pieces right now, Jenni Kayne still has so much to bring to your space, like tabletop decor, dinnerware, cozy throws. I always find myself checking their candle section because they have the best smelling candles ever. All inspired by California, hand poured in Los Angeles. They also make perfect hostess or birthday gifts to keep on hand. Jenni Kayne really has the perfect ways to add a little bit of luxury into your life in every type of home, for every type of lifestyle, and on every budget.
Find your forever pieces at jennykayne.com, and you'll get 15% off your first order when you use code CHATTY at checkout. That's 15% off your first order at JENNIKAYNE.com, promo code CHATTY.
Broads, I think this is a pretty universal experience, so hopefully someone else feels my pain, but every single time I go to ship something, I think, oh, this can't cost more than a few bucks, and I get to the counter and feel completely bamboozled by what the cost actually is, but by the point, it's far too late to just go back, so I just pay it and then sit in my car confused and wondering why I just got scammed when all I was trying to do is mail my friend a birthday gift.
I've been there.
Right? Okay. I feel like this resonates. It feels too real to me.
I feel validated.
Anywho, if that's happened to you, stop the madness and start using stamps.com.
For real. Stamps.com also brings the post office right to you, so you don't even have to go. You can do everything you would normally do at a post office right from your home computer, such as printing shipping labels. You can compare shipping costs. You can schedule pickups. And Stamps.com even integrates with most online marketplaces like Amazon, Etsy, and Shopify, which makes it easier than ever to run your business from home.
And no more feeling bamboozled, because Stamps.com is going to save you money every time. You'll get access to discounts you can't even get at the post office, like 40% off USPS service rates and up to 66% off UPS rates.
So start shipping and saving with Stamps.com today. There's no risk. And with our promo code CHATTY, you get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. You'll be up and running in minutes when you just go to Stamps.com, promo code CHATTY. So go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, type in CHATTY. Stamps.com, promo code CHATTY. Easy e-commerce shipping for less. A lot less.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Okay, so I think there are really only a few big things that we truly need to go over with this. I feel like so much of this episode was just filler via the dance.
I'm not gonna lie, because we started it later because it was Gray's birthday. Like I fast forwarded through like Anna's date, and like it's like shit like that. I'm like,
and it's also like the show's like over in like a week.
This is irrelevant.
So nothing's going to happen. The most that's going to happen is that Anna and James might leave the beach together and be like, maybe we should
boyfriend and girlfriend.
Or even like, let's exchange numbers. Like that's probably what's going to happen.
I'll DM you.
Yes.
I am not even giving you my number actually. What's your handle?
Let's just DM. Again, what was your last name again?
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. But yeah, no, there's only a few big conversations.
Ivan's a big one, obviously.
But of course.
I'm like, Ivan.
It's like Ivan and Ivan. I mean, yeah, let's see. We got to talk Ivan. Noah and Abigail.
Yes.
Is a big conversation.
And I do want to touch on McKenna and Ed and Anna a little bit, but those are kind of the big points for me. Those are, and then a random shocking moment of Aaron just randomly grabbing Tia, which I will be bringing up in our discussion of Ivan and Aaron.
Thank you very much. I feel like I assume we're on a similar page, but let us begin. Okay, so last week let me fill you in just because, you got the notes. Last week, we obviously saw Ivan ask Chelsea if she wanted to go talk. Yes. They start chatting, and the makeout seemed out of nowhere that they started kissing, which is why I assumed when we saw clips of Ivan confessing something to Wells was that he went in the night to Chelsea's room.
Oh my God.
And was that they maybe like hooked up or were talking. And so they were trying to like downplay it the next day for the camera because it seemed so random.
Yeah.
Cut to Aaron seeing it and literally just raging at Ivan, calling him like a little bitch boy and all sorts of other things.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'm fucking over Aaron. Like he will always hold a special place in my heart as, I don't know, so Aaron. But he's just, at this point, he's so fucking annoying and he's so hypocritical. And he's just like, there was like, I hated in the beginning of this episode. He was like, I can't help but get angry. And I was like, no, Aaron, that's your problem. You can help your emotions.
Let's work on this.
This is called self-regulation.
This
and
is called
you
growth.
don't know how to do that at all because anything that triggers you, you freak the fuck out. And I'm so sick of it. And he needs to take responsibility for his emotions.
Listen,
and he needs to worry about his damn self.
When your boy, mob boss James, is saying, I'll always support you, but like, I think that was out of line. It's bad.
And then, of course, when Aaron doesn't get everyone on his side, ganging up and attacking someone, then suddenly Aaron's the one being attacked. It's so Real Housewives behavior. It's so like...
He would be so good on Real Housewives. He would be a king. I would be his biggest fan if he was on Real Housewives.
He's made for that kind of shit.
We've talked about this from the very beginning. He's made for reality TV. Mm-hmm. And I believe, especially from what we have seen in this last episode, that Aaron will be a part of Bachelor Nation forever.
Yeah.
I think they will love him and include him in everything.
Well, he takes the producer bait hook, line, and sinker every single fucking time. It's hard to not want to work with someone like that forever.
The producer legitimately just has to go, so Aaron, he's like, I got you, boss. And he just takes off and they're like, wait, I didn't even give you a question.
Say half of someone I say name, like Jess, and he's like, Jesse's here for the wrong reason. They're like, we're saying Jasenia. Like, what? Okay, go.
Don't worry, I got it.
Go off, King.
And the fact too, when he didn't get like all the support from everyone, the next day when McKenna's coming in, instead of just being like, hey, I think I might be vibing with somebody else or whatever, the way that he was just like, it's been really hard. And he's just moping around for like 48 hours. Even after Ivan's, quote unquote fall, he was still just a mope king.
Aaron's the kind of person, like, and I knew people like this in high school, where like if he could never go to a restaurant and eat by himself.
Oh no.
He's the type of person, if he's going to a party, he needs 6 people, like in his 4-person car.
He's the guy who, even when you're with all of your friends, he's on the phone pacing the entire time, talking to another friend that's like not there. And you're like, we're all hanging out.
Yeah.
And he's like still doing his thing.
Yeah.
Now, the reason that I just really don't like Aaron in these past few episodes, but I can't help but like him, is because there is this part of me that's like, I know if we all like he's the guy that I know that if we all went out to get a drink with, I would be like, this guy's so much fun. He's a great time.
Until he gets in a fucking bar fight and gets us kicked out for eternity and banned from the place.
And it's terrible, but at the same time, you're always going to get a story with Aaron. And I do enjoy being around people that are always giving me a story.
I get enough stories in my household. I don't need any more when I'm going out. Okay, that was teasing gray shade. Well, but also it's like, okay. Tell me how you feel about the Ivan situation with the loosely use the word with the lying. No, I mean he did lie with the lying with the Alexa thing. Okay. Just tell me your feelings.
I'm gonna tell you mine, and then I want to hear yours. This is okay.
Tell me yours,
because we haven't discussed this at all.
Yeah.
Okay. I really don't like that Ivan lied, first of all. I don't like that. And my biggest issue with him, though, in this situation is that it seemed like he used Chelsea to potentially get a rose so that he could stay to see Alexa. I don't like that he randomly was like, let's make out, because that's shitty that you're using somebody. It's like a very minor, and I shouldn't say very, but it's like the baby version of what Brendan did, right? You're using somebody.
Yeah.
That makes me feel massive ick, and I think it's wrong. I don't know what it was about the situation, though, that it just was like, and I don't know if it's Ivan, and I'm prone to just believe him in situations, and we legit saw him actively lying to people's faces, so you'd think that it'd be like, go fuck yourself, whatever. The way he lied to me felt so in like the nervousness of, I'm about to have the full gang come against me, like I've watched happen 5 times already via Aaron on this beach, and I just want to avoid it. I don't want to be part of it. He was never friends with Aaron before. He was not on Aaron's season. I tend to go by history. We've never seen Ivan get into any altercation of any sort on the season. He's been nothing but always hanging in the background, kind of doing his thing. I think he really wanted to meet Alexa. I think a producer 100% put the phone there for him to see. I think it was a fully planned situation. I do not think a producer just like left their phone and like left the room. I think it was left there on purpose. I don't know. I feel mixed about it, because I do think it was super shitty that he used Chelsea, and I think it's really shitty that he was blatantly lying. But with Aaron's past behavior, and then what I really truly got tweaked about was then when we saw Natasha saying like, what have we seen of Aaron and what have we seen of Ivan?
Yeah.
And she was just like, we've seen Aaron be loyal and blah blah blah,
like,
blah.
What? Aaron's
and I'm
a
like,
fucking psychopath.
I'm like, I've seen Aaron cause drama, and I've seen Aaron make out with Serena and then ditch Tammy for Becca. And all I've seen of Ivan is that Ivan got ditched by Jasenia and ditched by Kendall.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what you're talking about with track record on the beach.
Yeah, not to mention if we're looking at just like basic self-control and just like decency.
Ivan I think he just made a really shitty mistake. I really do. And the difference with the Brendan and Ivan thing deeply to me is the attitude.
Totally.
You know what I mean? I think maybe that my 20-minute explanation for the point being is I think what Ivan did was shitty.
Oh, there's no comparison.
But I think and even if it was like even closer in comparison, I think just the attitude coming out, Brendan immediately getting defensive with everyone. I think Ivan immediately knew he had lied and he had made a mistake, and he started to backpedal, and it was like, oh fuck, and then he got caught, and then it was immediately like, I'm really sorry, he fully accepted it. I don't know what that weird little speech part was to Chelsea at the end. I think it was him just trying to apologize, and I don't think it was done in the perfect way. But it wasn't like, I don't know. So, I mean, my thing is, at this point, we are so numbed, for one thing, to this is about the 5th time on this fucking season that somebody has been using someone to wait until the person they actually want to be there is there. Yeah. This is true. Like, everyone's fucking doing it. Like, the only people who are like not doing it are like Serena and Joe, and like, yeah, there's maybe a couple. There's like a handful of people that weren't like there for one person. Everyone thinks they're being so fucking sly about it. Is probably the most annoying part to me. And honestly, like the Brendan and Piper thing didn't, aside from like you're saying, Brendan's behavior, I'm like, literally,
at this point, now seeing how many times it's happened, it's like every single person has done this.
Yeah.
Like every single person. I even think that like, you know, production was helping Natasha hold out for someone. You know, it's like this is happening with everyone.
I know. It's everyone's doing it. It's just I think where the anger comes is when you're like clearly using someone instead of it being like, hey, like maybe let's get to know each other.
Well, I think no. I think it was the same thing. I think this is why I think that because obviously Ivan would not have the gall to show up at her fucking hotel room if they were not clearly planning on being a thing when she got to paradise. That is such a confident move to show up without contacting someone at their hotel room and spend the night with them.
It's very true.
There is plenty of premeditation on that part, without a doubt.
Even if it's truly never been physical contact and just just texting and or phone calls and flirting and like I can't when the anticipation is building, I can't wait to actually meet you.
Yeah, that makes me feel like there is some type of agreement happening there of like we're going to be those people when we get here. Now, I mean, look, was anything he did horrible? No. However, I, you know, sort of said throughout this season, might have held my tongue a bit on it, but I've always felt like Ivan's a little immature.
You have.
And this was just immature. The lying, like, not only did he lie to Aaron to try to save, which it was so human. And like you were saying, it's like so human. It's understandable.
I was watching myself when he was backpedaling and he like, when he got confronted by Aaron, and he was like, no, she asked me.
Yeah, it's
where I want to go
so
like, Ivan,
human.
you're putting now the blame on Chelsea and now you're making her look bad. And that's really that's the bullshit part to me. I don't really fucking care if Ivan lies to Aaron. What does he owe Aaron?
Yeah.
But the fact that you're putting blame on Chelsea now, that's bullshit.
Also, you're just like not telling the truth. Like if you're going to be ballsy enough, to try to like take, and granted they're not like exclusive, but like I'll use quotes, take someone's girl so that you can be with your girl who's showing up the next day, you better own that shit instead of trying to cover your ass so you don't get repercussions for the behavior that you are very well doing. So it was very human, but it was like, come on, man. And then when Chelsea confronted him, he turned and lied to Chelsea. I didn't say that I pulled you. I'm like, nah, dude, you lied once, you lied twice. You are not owning up to your shit. And when you, in all of this, are just waiting for Alexa to come here. Can't blame you for that, sir.
No, not at all.
Cannot blame you for that. And unfortunately, if he wasn't immature, he might have...
That might have been... that's... Okay. As you're saying this more, you know what I think it is?
What?
I think the show has absolutely seared and scarred my brain. Where it's like you were saying, there's so much bullshit that's been happening that like, I'm kind of like, no, it wasn't good, but I still like Ivan. Instead of being like, no, these are the facts of the matter. It was super shitty.
Yeah, and I didn't like that he lied to Chelsea and she was even like, dude.
I don't like that he lied to Chelsea, and then like I said, the apology, his explanation to her at the end when she was like, why are you saying to me that like you assumed that I was going to give you a rose, like. Just apologize for lying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, apologize for using me and for lying, but not like assuming I was going to give you anything.
And from one reality TV contestant to another, Ivan, you idiot, trust the process. Alexa was there. Hold out. Even if he had got sent home and didn't get anyone's rose, they would have done who was that? Was that Dean and Kaylin? No, who was it in the two cars when they drove past each other?
Oh no, who
remember
was
that?
Yes.
I don't remember who it was, but something happened and then they turned around and followed the other person, and they could have had a whole thing and people would have been obsessed with Ivan and Alexa and would have been like, oh my God, so happy for finding love.
That's the other thing why it's like the thing with Ivan where it's just like, dude.
You blew it. You
were super, like, you were continually dishonest, and then you fucked Alexa's chances.
Blew it for Alexa.
Because I heard that she then gets removed, apparently.
Yeah, and I'm sure the only reason they were bringing her there was for Ivan.
They probably both knew that they were like, and they knew that Ivan was like a sweetheart. So, but I also do, I just feel like the producer phone was a setup.
Oh, I'm sure it was. The producers all the time will be like, oh, be in your hotel room, whatever. Like, oh, I'm going to use the bathroom. But like,
I mean,
I'm
clearly
sure it was a setup, but that's also like really, I'm really confused by that whole thing. Because you, as the producer, would have to believe that maybe the producer said to him, like, I'm not sure if there's even going to be time to bring Alexa on, honestly. But like, maybe you guys can pursue something like after the show. Like, we've only got 6 more days of filming. I'm sorry, man. And then went to the bathroom. Was like, oh, I got to use the restroom. Leaves it open. That seems plausible.
Because, yeah, just feeding into it and then leaving it there. Because I'm sitting there going, when he said it was right there for him to see, I had 2 extreme feelings. I obviously was like, either this is listening to a child lie about like, but like, I didn't go through the phone. It was just there. Like, the cookie fell in my mouth. I didn't dig in the cookie jar. Like, it's like, okay. But then there's this other part of me that thinks that because it might have been set up.
Oh, no, I'm sure they left it out for him to see.
Where it's like literally was just like put like right there. And like, yeah, I got to go to the bathroom. And normally they'd probably have like a lock screen on their phone or a passcode. And it was just like
set
open,
that shit to display on forever.
And just was like that. And then walked out or walked to the bathroom and like let him see and see if he was going to take the bait.
And I'm sure like the thing that I was going through in my head is like, I don't think they would do that unless they really thought that Ivan was going to go and sneak out to her. But then I just thought like maybe they were hyping him up, and I bet they were telling him like, I don't know, man, if we're gonna have time to bring her on, et cetera, et cetera.
If I was Ivan, I would have taken the risk, having seen that so much of this season already is about like the rules and like this weird outside of the show conversation. I would have gone to Chelsea and I would have been like, hey, so I have to be honest with you. I saw that Alexa's showing up. And I don't know if you're like super attached to Aaron, but if you're not and you'd consider giving me a friend rose, like I know that this is awkward and a huge ask. And I would say it wouldn't be right for him to do that, but it would have been more of
I
like
don't think there's anything wrong with doing
just
that.
asking like, hey, if you're not interested in Aaron and you're going to give someone a friend rose, like I there is someone that I'm waiting for that I know is going to be showing up. And just take us out of the whole fantasy element of it again.
Yeah.
Instead of doing this whole like, I'm going to make out with her out of nowhere.
Yeah. No, the whole thing was very eye roll inducing for me. But yeah, ultimately my thing's not any moral judgment, but that all showed me immature.
Yeah, it was very immature. It was extremely immature. And I'm glad that he owned everything right away.
Oh my God. And fuck off, Wells.
Oh my God.
For the love of God. Fuck all the way off.
I have to tell you though, the way that he did it, I was having so many flashbacks of like my mom sitting me down after going through my AIM accounts and seeing what I had been talking about, what music I had been secretly listening to, and sitting me down.
I'm getting so much anxiety thinking
and
about
being
that.
like, do you have anything to talk to me about?
Everything you want to tell me?
And I see her sitting with like my computer in the background, and I'm just like, oh God. She'd be like, so it'd be easier if you just tell me.
You're like, I'm a heathen sex addict. I admit it. When you're like, you're on AIM, you're like, would you kiss me right now if you were here?
Oh my God. Yeah, no, there were so many conversations like that I was like, if my parents ever found out.
I remember getting in trouble for that shit. Like,
I remember
my
looking
Facebook
up,
was logged in on the computer.
like when porn wasn't like as easily accessible, like when you would just like search images. I remember just like searching images. Like if my parents would have.
What would you like type in the search image?
Oh my God. It just every part of genitalia.
Hot guy shirtless, hot penis.
I'd be like penis. I'd be the vagina. Like I was just like I was so sheltered. I'm like I want to see more of this. You know what I mean? Like I had never. I just was like I had never come at that point face to face with like a one in real life, other than my own vagina, or I've never seen a guy's penis before. Fascinating.
First time I guess I saw a penis was chat roulette.
That was the first time.
Not like a hard penis.
I think that's the first time I ever saw a real penis too, not just like an image that I had searched.
I remember me and my friends was like, I was like 12 or 13. I was like mortified.
You know what I remember?
What are they doing?
The first time that I did chat roulette, the first penis that came up, and then one came up like 3 after that, and screaming about both, right? Pure horror. Yeah. But I remember one was circumcised and one wasn't, and I didn't know what the difference. Like I didn't really know about that, and I was just like, "Wait, why do? Which one's the right one? Which one's the real one?"
Yeah, wow. That was, and I remember we had a brave friend in our crew, shout out Logan, who would be like, guys, look away, I've got this. And she'd be like, I'm looking for a person. Click, click, click.
Would you ever have the bravery to conversate with people? Or were you always just kind of hiding behind your friends?
No. We were like looking for friends.
Okay.
And people to talk to, and then we'd always actually find some people who were like playing instruments, and we'd talk, and then we'd become Facebook friends and like that kind of thing.
I was always such a baby with it.
Really?
We're like, we're like,
know where we are. It's they're gonna come for us.
I would want to be participating, but I would never have like the balls to like say anything to the person. I would be the one behind, and my friends would be like interacting.
Oh, definitely. Logan was the one too, being like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Yeah, I would just get so shy.
Like, you guys don't want to talk to us? She was definitely the one who was like, wild times.
I could easily push through and do chat roulette silently, but I would just every 2 seconds I would just hit it. I could never like alone have a conversation with somebody.
Have you ever gone on as an adult?
I did somewhat recently.
Really?
Yeah, with a friend. We were having some drinks, and she was just like, we started to talk about it, and we're like, does it actually still exist?
It's just all dicks.
We were on there for 2 seconds. There's no speaking now. It's only either someone has their thumb over it, so you can't say anything, and then they reveal the dick. Yeah. Either the dick is slowly revealed, or the dick is just right there being vigorously pulled. Yeah. What a world we live in. Anywho.
That about wraps it with Ivan, though, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I wish that...
I was like, how did that get started? Wells.
I wish that I had more info from Ivan now. Like, I wish like he would have gone on Instagram and been like,
what is there even to say?
No, I get, you know what? He apologized already, but I kind of wanted a second one. I kind of wanted a second one because, like I said, I wasn't like angry for some reason, even though I knew it was wrong, just maybe because I have a soft spot for him. But I'm like, no, this is super fucked up. You're lying.
Yeah.
You know, but it's also...
Well, it was very human.
It felt human, and it felt idiotic, and it felt youthful, and it felt selfish.
Yeah.
But not so conniving.
Nah.
Anywho.
Not at all.
Anywho.
Yeah, what should we talk about next? I am, by the way, this episode, I have to tell you, I'm now obsessed with Thomas.
Becca? I felt the exact same way. I almost texted you last night, and I was like, I think I'm in love with Thomas.
I'm really skipping ahead, but Thomas's reaction
during the priestess ceremony. Yes. I was like, I was feeling emotional.
Gray and I were like beaming. We were living for him. She's indigenous. This goes back thousands of years. This could be the most valuable thing that they will get from this entire experience. It was amazing.
He was so like in tune with what was really going on. The fact that like everyone kind of walked away and the girls were kind of checking it out, but he was like standing there watching, like so invested. Like this is going to be the most important part of their relationship.
I would be honored to experience something like this.
He was like simultaneously so sad that him and Becca weren't experiencing it, but also so happy for his friend Kenny and Mari.
Yes, and just so respectful of the entire
so
experience.
so respectful of it, and he wanted everyone to be just as respectful of it. So he wanted to be respectful, but he wasn't. He was just having conversations with people about it.
Yeah, not to mention his little motivational speech to Anna. He was just like, don't worry, you're going to get out there. Like, you're going to do it. You got this.
The way that
I really liked the guy.
Me too. The way that he shut it down immediately and was like, no, but then encouraged. I was like, okay.
You got it, girl.
I'm seeing him now. I've been noticing him in the past 2 episodes in the background, just like being like big smile and just like seeming kind of like this like sweet, I don't know. He's sweet.
He's a gentle giant.
He kind of is a gentle giant.
A really tall guy.
And let's be honest,
a big heart.
We've really gotten to know Aaron.
Yeah.
Like you were saying. And it's like, they haven't been able to prove anything with him. Now, they might be giving Thomas a really good edit because he may be still with
Queen
Bachelor
Kufrin,
royalty. But, because I remember hearing rumbles that Thomas... aren't gonna like Thomas this season of BIP. I remember hearing those rumors forever ago.
Oh,
it could just be dead wrong, or maybe they gave a different. But you wouldn't be able to give that much of a different edit.
I think we've said all along he's not a bad guy.
No,
I think he has a difficult time getting in touch with his darker emotions, or doesn't want to. But I think he's a really nice guy. And I hope that he and Becca work out.
I know. I hope for them.
I hope for both of them.
Oh, sorry. Now my brain all of a sudden shot back. I do want to say, I did want to acknowledge the moment going back to Ivan when he was leaving Riley. That is another moment that broke my heart.
Riley's like, my dude, you were supposed to represent. You were supposed to.
He was just like, we're better than this. Like, I love you always, but I'm disappointed. And I was like, now that my heart is breaking. And that was like, maybe that's my feelings about Ivan post all of this, where I'm just like, I feel really disappointed because we were rooting for you. We were all rooting. And Riley was just so sad because he did, get involved in the confrontation while it was happening. Yeah. Which, I mean, rightly so. When it comes to Aaron, you can always assume. Even when he was like, he lied to me. And the girls were like, what did he say that was a lie, though? And the irony is that this was the one time that Aaron truly got lied to was after he claimed Ivan was lying. Then Ivan looked at him and he said, Chelsea pulled me. It's been the one time that Aaron's really gotten lied to.
That's funny. That is irony.
It's rich. It's so rich.
Should we take a quick break real quick before we keep going?
Let's take a quick pause. Oh, Aaron.
Aaron.
All his paranoia is truly manifesting. Okay, broads, listen. Once you've had a dog, they are just a part of your family. At least that's the way it works for us. We've got 2 dogs, Boris and Ashley, and I love them so much. The thought of them getting out or running down a busy LA street scares the living daylights out of me, okay? Yeah. But I also know that dogs can be unpredictable, and that is why I got both of my dogs Halo collars to help keep them safe and give me some peace of mind. It has already come in handy quite a few times for us.
Yeah, this technology is really cool. Halo collar has so many different functions to help make sure your dog stays safe. It's an entire smart collar system. And first of all, you can create these custom Halo fences, up to 20 of them. So all you have to do is walk the perimeter with the collar, or you can trace them with your finger in the Halo app. And then the collar will make sure your dog stays within the boundaries you're setting for it.
Mm-hmm. You can also use Halo collar to train your dog, which is awesome. You can set custom feedback and communication, which can even include your voice. I mean, honestly, there are so many awesome features on Halo collar. If you have a dog, do yourself a huge favor and check out the 90-second video on shophalocollar.com/chatty to see how easy it is and what else you can do with it.
I think it's so cool. We have all this technology to just make our lives easier, and it's going to make your life with your pet way easier. Take advantage of this special limited time introductory offer today. You can save 20% on your Halo collar by going to to shophalocollar.com/chatty. That's shophalocollar.com/chatty to save 20%. And you got to go to the site to get the offer. It can only be gotten at shophalo.com/chatty.
All right, calling all cat moms and cat dads. Let's chat kitty cats, okay? We have to tell you about this amazing brand of cat food that I know Becca's cats have been chowing down.
Did you know that before we even got this sponsor for the podcast, I had already been ordering Cat Person every month. So
Did you really?
Yes, really. I've been paying for it for this subscription on my own for months now. I was like, I can totally endorse this one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well then let's talk Cat Person.
Yeah.
Okay, Cat Person is protein-packed, grain-free, and low-carb, made with only the best, most wholesome ingredients.
Yeah, this is not normal in the pet food industry, which I was not fully aware of until recently. So most other cat foods are filled with cheap fillers and grains because it helps cut the cost of the product. But unfortunately, those things can really wreak havoc on your cat's digestion and cause a lot of problems. I've noticed a lot of my cats get skin problems, and a lot of animals do actually with
the food related
fillers.
Yep,
I know you've had that experience with Boris too, pertaining to dog food. Anyway, my cats love their Cat Person food, and I like knowing that what I'm feeding them is real food and not a bunch of manufactured fillers. They are obsessed with it, and I've really noticed the benefits.
Cat Person has 16 easy to serve wet foods and 3 different dry foods for your cats to try. And you can even create a custom meal plan, which always ships for free. I know my parents just started using Cat Person, and their cat is obsessed with the duck and chicken wet food and the salmon and tuna dry food. But they've got tons of other flavors for your cats to enjoy, like beef, turkey, chicken, tuna, and so many others. And if you're hesitant to switch your cat foods, because let's be real, cats can be tough to please, don't worry, because Cat Person offers a 30-day money-back guarantee on your meal plans. That it's so wild. I did not know that you were using that before, and my parents or my dad started using it a few months ago.
I love it too because it's customizable. So like we don't use wet food that much. Like we'll maybe use a little bit of a can like every night, but you can really customize it. So like you can say, oh, I'm only going to get, 12 cups of wet food for the month, but I'm going to get 3 bags of dry food or whatever. Like very customizable, very user friendly, and my cats really love it. So anyway,
love it.
You guys are going to love Cat Person as much as we all do. Go to catperson.com/chatty and use code chatty to save nearly 50% on your starter box with free shipping. That's catperson.com/chatty and use code chatty to get nearly 50% off your starter box. I wish I had this code when I first ordered, with free shipping. 50% off your starter box, free shipping. Catperson.com/chatty, code chatty.
Okay, so you were talking about that you loved Thomas. Do you know who I couldn't help but love kind of on this date or on this episode? McKenna and Ed. The feelings before some of our most cringe characters from the show ever.
So cringe.
And I talked about months and months and months ago that I would love to see the two of them together because I feel like they make sense together.
Yeah.
Watching my screen.
Ed low-key, I told Gray, Ed low-key had an Adam Sandler rom-com moment when he convinced her to go on the date.
1000%. I feel like I saw some people saying, oh, he was pushing it.
Sure.
Da, 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 da.
Sure, he was.
He was, but maybe this is a bad take. I felt like he could pick up that she wanted someone to affirm her. Truly.
Also, I thought that his reasoning was just I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. He was what's just one date? If you don't like me, you go home.
Right.
We're already out here. You already came. You can't even get a flight home tonight anyway. And I thought that it was like I said, it was like an Adam Sandler rom-com. It
was kind of
what do you have to lose?
It was kind of sweet. And give
me a chance.
Let's be real. It's one thing if McKenna pulled one guy, talked to the one guy, and then he said no to the date. Yeah. And then Ed forces himself out of nowhere and is like, come on, just go on a date with me. She pulled every single guy and every guy said no. And then she finally asked Aaron and then he sees her crying. So to me, it lines up that he's like, oh, you also asked me to talk. You pulled me aside and I gave you kind of the impression that I was happy talking with Natasha.
Yeah.
So it didn't seem too assumed to me.
No, I don't think so either. And I think that his argument was kind of like, you know, you only live once. Why not? Like, why don't we just shoot our shot and see if we have fun together? Which I thought was very innocent.
Yeah, it felt sweet to me.
And it was just like I said, it was just so like kind of rom-com where she was just like, okay, like maybe you're right. It was very much like kind of like Jennifer Coolidge and White Lotus being like, okay, you like me, you know?
Completely. And then they went rollerblading, which then was again, so it was just like took him to this some like 80s whatever or 70s whatever. But the fact that they did that to McKenna is so cruel. Y'all know who McKenna is. You know that she's been waiting hand and knee for Paradise.
It's fucked up.
For years now. Years! Because she was on Pete's season and she was going to be the queen. She gave that huge ending speech at the Women Tell All. She had her Paradise pitch moment. And you brought her on last.
I mean, I gotta say, like, love Mari and Marissa. Like, don't get me wrong, but like, they were not like key players at all in the seasons, and they were like day oneers.
Yes.
That was kind of crazy to me.
It is interesting how they put together like the initial cast for sure.
Very
they brought
odd.
down like the people who had been in Bachelor Nation for forever later.
Yeah.
Or like bigger names in Bachelor Nation, I should say.
Yeah, they did her dirty.
It was this is McKenna's dream.
They were trying to break her.
It was her dream, and you send her out like last person when you know everyone's gonna say no.
Shit's fucked up.
You're gonna make her feel so insecure, even though it has nothing to do. Everyone's just already coupled up. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe that they did that to her.
I mean, I'm not a big Anna fan, but I couldn't really believe that they did that to both Anna and McKenna. We're just like, here, go see if you can find some scraps. Best of luck to you.
They just
I was floored. And James is still scraping by.
I mean,
James is still here.
James is the leech of Paradise in the best way. He really did it. He really figured out how to do
I think James would win Survivor. Like, he has survived.
1000%. I think James is a perfect example of when you're likable, you can hang around for a long time.
And you don't make yourself too
Nope.
involved.
Nope. You're just kind of the guy who supports everyone's decisions and kind of floats along. And people just go, all right, I'll give you a friendship rose.
Oh, it's just James.
It's James. He's the perfect example of it. He really is.
I'm still standing better than I ever did. Yeah, that's James.
Looking like a true survivor.
Feeling like a little kid.
But I mean, they did that shit to Anna, and then they made a date where they covered them in sugar and
All right.
syrup, and then they made them put snakes on themselves.
No, I fast forwarded through this one. I was like, I don't need to watch this.
I need you to know.
And I saw the snakes and I saw the sugar.
Do you know what I need you to know? Not cohesive at all. There was no flow of any reason why. If you are going to make people cover their body in sugar and chocolate sauce and then put snakes on them, it needs to make sense. There needs to be a smooth transition. There was no smooth transition.
Who is coming up with these fucking dates? Why not do like a Wells will teach you how to mix drinks afternoon?
Right. Or even a massage date.
Or like try to harvest coconuts. Like, come on, some shit. What are they doing here?
Or even like, this is now last week with Kenny and Mari, even though it was like they were plating food on each other, it almost was like a massage date because they were rubbing sour cream all over each other's bodies. And now this is like another one, but then they're rolling around in a sandbox of cinnamon sugar.
I guess normally they like go out and interact with the locals and such, and they're not doing that kind of thing.
Yeah, I just feel like there are so many ideas.
Why are they doing this? This is now the second cheesy dance they've done too.
I don't understand.
First the stupid dance, now the prom thing. What the hell?
You know what else is really sad for McKenna is that they let her go to the prom and then they made her stay quarantined And then they let Anna come on the sand before her, and Anna wasn't even at the prom.
How fucked up.
So they gave McKenna like 3 hours of bliss at the Titus.
By the way, that wasn't the prom. That was like homecoming dance.
Homecoming. Not prom.
Homecoming.
They had McKenna at the homecoming tight ass homecoming. They gave her 3 hours of joy and then locked her in her room again and said, "You cannot come out."
She better have a balcony. She better be allowed access to the pool.
I mean, for the love of God. And they put her right back in for like a week.
Unbelievable.
I mean, madness. Absolute madness.
Also, like, with all these stupid food dates where they're having to be disgusting with the food, why not just have, like, where they have to cook? Can they just cook? Can we do something normal?
Can we get some beautiful, like, culinary shots? Zooming in, romantic on them, like slicing things? Do we have to get stuff all over their bodies?
Also, why aren't we doing a Survivor moment where they have to try to spearfish or something? Like, these are all better dates that I've come up with in 2 minutes and they've come up with on this entire season.
It's so...
I'm livid.
Give us something more. You guys could literally, like, why not a snorkeling date?
I guess not good for cameras?
Underwater camera. Are they that cheap?
Helicopter? Come on, guys.
Come on.
I guess, did they do horseback riding this year?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did some horseback riding. Disappointing.
So disappointing. Where is the creativity? Where is it? We saw Mike Fleiss post a tweet where he said back at the mansion and took a screenshot of the front of the mansion. So it seems like maybe the Bachelor season will be back to normal. At the mansion. And maybe at least around the United States. I'm not sure.
Over this shit.
Absolutely unbelievable.
This has broken me. This has truly broken me. Did you also notice McKenna, all her worded bracelets? I saw the top one was manifest.
Oh no. Oh no.
They were
McKenna.
like light. I saw one that said like something light. Man, there was manifest.
McKenna, she was
like
trying
dreamer.
so hard. Oh. You know that she brought 17 dream journals? She's just been scribbling. The walls of McKenna's hotel room are covered in vision boards. It looks like someone has lost their mind in there because it's just cutouts from like the local newspapers. Yeah. Because she's run out of her own material.
I was going to say she's cutting up the comforter, cutting the flowers out, being like, pasting them on the walls.
The producers walk in and she's just sitting cross-legged with like 2 pairs of scissors. She's like...
Manifest, dream, envision. What you believe is what you will become.
And the producers are like, McKenna, it's your turn. And she's just like... and she hasn't looked up for like 3 weeks. So she's just like, what did you say? What did you say?
Scuttles out from the corner from behind the bed. She's like perched like a bird up on her little tiny balcony. She's like...
The producer's coming. And it's pitch black. And she's doing vision boards in the complete darkness. And they turn the light on. And they're like, why are the lights off? The curtains are drawn. They open the curtain.
She's got her like function of shampoo that she's been spelling things out with on the bathroom walls.
Oh my God. Pieces of the FabFitFun box. Oh my God.
She's covered in self-tanner. She's so dark. They're like, oh, McKenna, we got to get you exfoliated at the hotel spot ASAP before we send you out. She's like, I'm ready for my glow. I've got my summer glow on.
She hasn't been allowed outside. So she needs to get tan somehow.
She's got 2 mitts on. They turn on the light. She's like...
Yeah, the hands, though, they've been cutting with the scissors. They're in, like, paraffin gloves from the FabFitFun box. And she's just got... But her hands are so smooth from the paraffin wax.
Oh, my God. I don't don't know what you're talking about. What is paraffin wax gloves?
Oh, just like, they put the paraffin wax on your feet sometimes.
Yes.
When you I think they have gloves that like you can do, because I've gotten it done on my hands too.
I love that. I want that.
McKenna, swipe up link, please. Let us know how you managed.
I just love the idea that she has like 50 coats of nail polish on. Like 50 coats of self-tanner, like her mascara. She's put it on like so many times.
She gets ready every single day, hoping that they're like...
and never takes it off in case they call her. And every morning she does the same thing. That's so funny.
Oh, God.
That's why she had so many bracelets on too. She's like, I'm going to put on a new bracelet for every day of the journey. Oh, man.
Oh, McKenna.
Shout out, girl.
Shout out, McKenna. I am so sorry you got done so dirty. You should have been on the beach first episode. You are such a perfect Paradise character. I don't know why you weren't there from day one. The little bit that we got to see of you, we got so much of you like looking out at the sand. We got so much like you already were right away vulnerable. You were on vulnerable 100 the second that you walked in. And I also would like to apologize, McKenna, for the cast of Bachelor in Paradise that stood in the bird's nest area and watched you cry talked about it. She's crying, look. She's crying. And everyone just stood and looked and they're like, oh, wow, she's crying. I'm like, someone go down and fucking comfort her.
What also killed me was her trying to be all confident and then she kept doing this with her date card.
I know.
Over and over again.
McKenna's so high strung. The second she walked down, she's just tapping.
Panicking.
Oh. Sending you all the love, McKenna.
Poor thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So, I mean, I think the only other big thing for us truly to cover is the Noah and Abigail situation.
Oh my God, I forgot.
At the
I
dance.
nearly forgot.
Oh, also, sorry. The whole Natasha and Ed deal. So now Ed is with McKenna.
Oh yeah, what?
And like, this fucking blows for Natasha.
So hard.
And I'm just like, I mean, we all knew when there was roses exchanged, it was like she even said, she's like, I gave Ed my rose because he showed interest.
Yeah.
And she's like, we could laugh together. But I'm just like, fuck the producers for not sending Natasha the guy that is on her list. Because we've talked about it 100 times. There's a guy on that list and she's waiting. I don't know. But she's waiting.
Oh, didn't we say
And she's
Ben?
probably thinking, Ben. She's probably thinking, producers, I'm on one of their podcasts. They're going to hook me up. No.
By the way, I met abroad this weekend. Where the hell was I? I don't know where I was. Anyway, the flea market. She was like, yeah, like whatever. Weird, she's like, love the podcast, whatever. And then she's like, yeah, my boyfriend actually, his personal trainer is Ben S. And I was like, oh, is he a nice guy? And he's like, yeah, I actually know him really well. He's a really great guy. And I was like, oh, well, awkward.
This is a kind of comfortable moment for me.
I think I literally was like, I think I was literally like, oh, I bet he is. I bet you think that. Or I like said some shit like that. Like, I refuse to believe it.
It doesn't matter what you say to me. Yeah.
That's what he wants you to think. Anyway, yeah, but yeah, she's holding out for someone and...
It just is like, you guys.
Do you think they were maybe like, let's say it was Ben. Do you think that whoever it was, they were maybe trying to convince them to come on?
Maybe.
Because that happens, I know, where production will be like calling people up in the season, being like, come on, how can we sweeten the deal?
Interesting.
And I wonder if that was the case.
Maybe.
They're like, he says no now, but we'll wait and see what happens.
Dude, like...
Because they've gone to great lengths to keep her around.
That's what I'm saying.
Production has.
They want Natasha there. Yeah. And then they're just going to make her time there miserable. And I'm like, aren't you going to like, this is someone who's on a Bachelor affiliated podcast.
Only so much intervention can be done, I suppose.
Like, at least be kind.
People are autonomous humans.
Oh, jeez. Just send the people who are on the list. Right? My God.
Like, why not?
Anywho, so yes, Natasha then is sick for the prom. And so she's not going. Tia is the one single person who is showing up to the prom, which honestly really fucking sucks. Yeah. That when that slow song came on and she walked away, I felt that in my gut and it was terrible. Yeah. It was terrible. for some strange reason, everyone was saying, oh, Chelsea and Aaron are super good. And then we have Chelsea's ITM being like, he hasn't like spoken to me. Like, I'm not feeling great about this. Like, I like him, but he's not connecting with me. So I'm like, I don't know why people are all like, Aaron and Chelsea, solid couple
of the year.
Also don't understand why, quote unquote, everyone apparently voted that Noah and Abigail are the couple ending. I'm like, that's called producer intervention. That's bullshit.
Although in like ITMs, everyone has been talking about them the whole time. Like they're the cutest.
They're all like, they're the strongest couple here. I'm like, what are we missing? What are we missing?
I guess we didn't talk about Mari and Kenny at all either.
Oh yeah. I mean,
there's nothing much to say except like, do you think they are both interested? I'm a little confused at this point.
I don't know. I think that he's all in and I think she's hesitant.
Yeah.
And I feel like
the priestess was all they needed to take things to the
next
step.
I felt like it really like solidified and maybe like I thought like that moment with the priestess was actually really beautiful.
Yeah.
We were seeing Kenny actually open up for the first time. Like he's kind of just looked away and like pat Mari's leg and be like, yeah, bro, I like really like you. But he really got vulnerable. And I don't know. I thought it was a really special moment.
Yeah.
I think it might have taken their relationship to a new level.
Yeah, I think they'll leave the beach like together, boyfriend and girlfriend. Who will not be leaving the beach together as boyfriend and girlfriend is Noah and
Abigail.
Oh, but like you were bringing up about Chelsea, though. Yeah, so then Aaron ends up macking with Tia. And I'm like, be respectful.
I'm like...
Which is what Chelsea said, by the way. Chelsea was like, you should be respectful.
You should be respectful. It's like, okay, Aaron, roll the clip where Natasha was talking about how he's super loyal and has only been, you know, this and that and compared to Ivan. And it's just like 24 hours later.
How many girls has Aaron been with at this point?
Half of the beach. Half of the beach. And now in the middle, he pulled, you know, not completely, but kind of pulled a Chris and Alana move where all of a sudden he pulled Tia aside, which completely out of nowhere. That's never been brought up. We do know, by the way, though, that Aaron is a Bachelor fan because he was fangirling over Becca Kufrin. So I wonder if he watched your season. And so it's like, okay, here's Tia. I'm also, I follow her. I know her. I want to get into Bachelor royalty.
Do you think that they'll like leave together?
That would be really shocking to me.
That would be bizarre.
That would be really shocking to me.
But I'm like, can I see it though?
I'll say, it's not that I couldn't see it. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
Okay, Noah and Abigail. I'm sorry. I know everyone's going to think that I'm just simping for Noah now in turn. I was perplexed by this whole situation. And now I'm going to have your moment like with you and Ivan where I'm like, I just don't know. I just don't know how to feel. Like I got the vibe that I think that even if it was true that he said like I have kind of had a little doubt all the way along, I was like, just don't say that. Mm-hmm. But it made sense to me. Like I've been in the position in relationships with before where I'm trying to convince myself that the relationship is going somewhere. Mm-hmm. And I really want to believe it. And I'm like, I love you. And we are going to pull through this and come out stronger than ever. And then you're like, and this isn't going anywhere. Yeah. And I kind of knew that all along.
When he was saying that he's been trying to convince himself, I did feel that. I feel like
did he say that? I didn't even catch that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I was picking up all along.
That felt so relatable to me, where it's like, oh my God, I feel like so many of us have been there before when you really like the person and you're trying to make it work, but there's just something that you can't put your finger on.
And you want to believe in the idea of the two of you together. I was also very confused about her saying she was like so blindsided. But
But then we see everyone saying that they're the couple leaving together.
But they've already had conversations about how she doesn't feel what everyone else is saying.
Right. I don't know, man. I feel like she definitely probably has to get to a place where she can open up more. But I also feel like then it needs to be with a person who is willing to be patient to let her open up. And also when you say that I'm falling in love with you, like realize that love is not, if you love someone, you love them. It doesn't matter how they react, right? I mean, or respond or whatever. Like,
but he said that I didn't change. Like, I still feel that way that I said.
Right. But then at the same time, so he's saying that he's in love with her, but he also like isn't. That's where I'm getting lost. I get the feeling of like, I understand when you're like, I'm in love with you, but I know that this isn't healthy. Or like, I'm in love with you and like, but our lives, it's just not going to work or whatever. But he was literally saying like, I'm in love with you, but there's something like missing and I'm not. So that's where I was like, I don't understand even what he's saying. And I felt like she didn't either. It was a little bit like, well, she's like, you just keep saying that I'm not your person. So I get it being like, I'm trying to make this work. But to be like, I'm in love with you, but you're not I don't know. It was very strange.
Honestly, I think that there was a lot that just didn't need to be said. And it could have just been like, I don't think we're going to work out. And kind of like leave it at that.
Yeah, I think that he talked way too much. Like she was saying, she's like, you can stop. It's hurting now. You've said it enough.
I think also though, I think they felt the exact same way about each other.
I completely agree with you.
I think she was feeling the exact same things Noah was feeling all along.
I think that they really were on the same page. I think she though was just actually acting on that more than he was. Like she was actually like holding back and then saying like something feels off here, and he was the one going like, I don't know, I'm falling in love with you. And so that's why I get why she might have felt blindsided, where it's like, hey, I'm the one who's been kind of pulling back and you've been like telling me like, I wish you would open up more and I'm falling in love with you. And now all of a sudden you're saying like, I'm not your person. Like that's confusing.
I also feel like both of their egos have been heavily involved in this relationship. And I'm not saying that in a way of like putting them down, but I think that both of them in one way or another are concerned about the way like other people on the beach see them.
Sure.
And I imagine that with this breakup too, there's an element of wounded pride and just being like, what the fuck? Like you're making me look like an idiot now.
Completely. Also, I always got the vibe a little bit from Abby that like she was on the fence with him, but everyone nonstop talking about how they're the cutest, best couple on the beach. It makes you start to convince yourself. I remember having that with one of the guys who like I was talking to in between Evan and I, the one who I didn't like. I literally did not like him.
And you will stay
but
with
everyone was just like, you guys are the cutest couple ever. Oh my God, you guys are so good together, that I was like, okay, I guess I'm really missing something.
Oh, absolutely. Other people's like opinions will work for or against your relationship. And I think that they lasted way longer than they were supposed to. That was supposed to be like a 4-day thing and then be like, I don't think we're working out. And it ended up being like a 4-week thing.
Now, the fact that he did it there.
I think he's also really immature.
I think he's, I just don't, this Bachelor in Paradise did not cement positive feelings for me with Noah. I'll say that. Every episode, I'm just like, no, thank you. Like, I don't like his vibe.
Aren't him and Ivan besties?
Him and Ivan are besties.
Yeah, I think they're both fucking immature. I don't think either of them are malicious. And I think they both have, Ivan is not as obvious, but I think they both have like a little bit of ego involved. And I think that they are young gentlemen who do stupid shit.
Totally. I just think Noah's a little more of a clout goblin. I think Noah's the guy who acts like he doesn't like the clout, but he's the one who was doing the recaps right away of the show. He's the one who responds to everyone's pictures and comments. I think he went on the show, and the fact that he continuously kept bringing up the fact that like, oh, we're the best couple on the beach. Everyone's obsessed with us. I'm like, you like this. You want to be the one. You want to get attention from the show. Everyone wants to get attention from the show, but you kind of act like you're above it. Like, I'm not into this vibe. Kind of the Dean energy where you're like, I don't like.
Like, then why are you here?
It's like, why are these cameras following me? I'm like, you called them to follow you, my guy.
Why are you here?
Why are you here? You want attention.
I think that then the other thing is like, what's interesting to see is someone's war against themselves, because at the same time, if you're a clout goblin and you want attention, he was also so at that point, he actually like listened to his heart, that he made this decision to break up with her at prom, which would make him look so bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was like at the same time he did something that would make him look not good.
Unless again, you know, if a producer convinced him that it's better for him to end it now and he'll be more of a villain if he, I mean, you never know.
I mean, yeah, that's an idiotic thing to believe though. Like, yeah, I should break up with her at the prom.
Yeah, that's
right after we get voted best cutest
right after
couple leaving the beach.
She tells everyone that she's never gone to a prom before, and so this is her first prom, and then you fucking break up with her there.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
No, it's horrible. Horrible, man.
No, he's much more, also for the record, he's definitely much more immature than Ivan. I shouldn't say they're the same, but it's just note that they're besties. That's all I'm saying.
You know, it was interesting when the whole Ivan thing started at the top of the episode. When Noah was on the daybed, he was talking to a couple people, and I heard him start to say, they're like, what's going on with this whole Ivan Chelsea thing? And I heard Noah start to say, well, last night, and they cut Noah off. And I'm like, I bet he told everybody that he was like, oh, he was away for a little while. And like, I don't know what happened.
No, he did. He said, no, he did. He said, yeah, he was like, Ivan wasn't in the room.
Right. But I'm saying like, I think he told other people that earlier in the day, because I heard him say last night and it got cut off. And I'm like, you know, Noah was spilling that tea. Come on. Noah's not somebody who's not going to spill all the tea. You go to Noah for all the info.
Definitely.
Even if it's with best friend Ivan. So I think that covers most of it.
It does.
Honestly, like, I just like really sludged through this episode.
It was a little rough.
I felt really disappointed. I felt very disappointed in Ivan. I was really bummed out. I really wish we could have seen Alexa on the sand and seen them got to know each other. I fucking love Alexa.
She's so beautiful.
She's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's just,
and the fact that we did not get to see her, the fact then that, you know, it's like Chelsea then got screwed because Aaron just, I mean, and then now Natasha, it was just one of those episodes where you're like, ugh. Do I have to watch 3 more hours of it?
This season is just so, it's like such, even though it's like not so clearly a COVID season, it's like such a COVID season. It's such a dud. And I think it is because there aren't a lot of those big players that we've talked about. There's no Maddie. There's no Hannah Ann. There's no Ben. There's you know, Victoria. I don't know, whoever the fuck else is supposed to be there, but
it just felt very like, it was too much behind the scenes, but not like last BIP with Blake. It was like the rules. It was constantly the rules. Everyone's breaking the rules. They're meeting beforehand. Ivan's breaking the rules. It's part of the process and da-da-da-da. And it's just like, it was just too much behind the scenes, I think.
It was like when you grab like a takeout cup and you sip it and you think it's going to be Sprite and then it's just water. And you're like, ugh.
1000%. That's a perfect example. It's a perfect example. I'm just excited to start recapping Michelle's season. I'm all about it. The commercials look so good. I'm really excited. But we do have, I think, 1 more or maybe 2 more weeks of BIP. I think okay. I'm curious. I'm curious to find out about what's happening currently.
You know what I bet? I bet that Noah's going to look so bad on After Paradise.
I think so too. Because he's got an attitude on him.
Yeah, he's going to try to like reinforce his things. And she's going to be like, she's gonna like lay into him and he's gonna like double down and it's just gonna be not good. He's gonna look bad.
Yeah, see, that's the difference with Ivan. It's like Ivan, it's like he's gonna come out with humility and acknowledge the things that he did that were wrong. And Noah's gonna be like, this is who I am. Sorry I hurt you. Sorry you felt like I hurt you. You know, that whole thing. Oh no. But we get a clip from next week where we see Kendall showing back up.
The producers are really fucking her, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming she's not coming down to stop anything.
No.
They're making it look that way.
She's like, I forgot my luggage.
She's like, I forgot something, so she showed up. No, I bet that she's going to come down and basically give Joe her blessing.
Oh.
That's my guess. And be like, hey, sorry we left the way we did. I just want you to let you know that, like, I want you to be happy, and that's it. 100% she gives him her blessing.
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
I feel it in my bones.
I didn't watch last week, so I also didn't see the departure.
Oh my God. You didn't see? Okay. Yeah. It was pretty intense. She was like struggling. Upset. Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens next week. Anywho,
broads, we love you all, and tune in for the bros tomorrow.
Chat soon.
Chat soon.